So I have finished my work for the day. Not that when you're doing a PhD you ever really finish work because I'm constantly thinking about it. But I finished a few things I wanted to do today. It's currently the afternoon around 4:30 and I'm about to go outside and do some garden jobs. So I thought I'd take you along with me and just show you a few of the jobs that I've got to get done this afternoon. It's been drizzling on and off all day, so it's going to be a little bit wet out there, but I still kind of just want to get these jobs done before the weekend. Before I need to do some other jobs. I've got a cat right here who obviously wants to say hello. This is Rocket, for anyone who doesn't know. We have two little cats. Rocket is like about 7-8 months now and very squirmy and wants to get down, so we'll pop him down. Here's the reason often why I can't film inside. But I need to actually grab something from the fridge, 1 second. So in the fridge I have a container of coffee grinds. This is almost full and I just prefer to keep this in a container in the fridge just because we go through coffee every day and it's just easier to keep it in the fridge because it's still pretty warm here and it goes moldy out on the bench. And I'm gonna use this now to actually go mulch some of my blueberries because they like a bit more acidic soil, and this is gonna be a nice nitrogen booster and fertilizer for them. So hopefully it hasn't really stopped raining. That's annoying. We'll make do, but we're gonna go outside and do a few jobs out there. While I bring my coffee around with me, let's see. I don't think I'm gonna be able to carry all these. Okay, so unfortunately the rain has started to pick up again. Looks really pretty and I'm really thankful for the rain. I don't think it'll last too long, but in the meantime I will insert a clip of me harvesting the rest of my corn. So we got a decent amount from this sweet corn variety, which is called Early Extra Honey Sweet Corn, and it was absolutely delicious. We now have a freezer full of corn. So I've actually replanted that corn now for a second round. So I've got some little seedlings and I'm going to plant out the rest of the seeds I have when I get some more soil because I'm totally out of soil. But that's going to be a job for the weekend to get another round of corn. So I'm going to actually keep you right here, and there is a perennial basil over there that I'm going to go prune. So I might try and zoom you in so you're underneath, not outside in the rain, and I can get that job done and show you the before and after. So I ended up with a massive bucket of basil. Here it smells delicious. The only thing is I actually don't really prefer eating this basil. It's also because it's also dried out here a lot and this went through a lot of stress. The leaves are pretty bitter and they just have a really strong flavour to them. The reason why I kept that plant there to get so big was just because of the bees, but the little bit that's left there will definitely bounce back and in no time it'll look like that little bush again. I just needed to cut it back because I'm going to start planting some greens and herbs around in that bed, and I also wanted to top it up with a bit of compost and mulch, and I just couldn't really work with that bed when there was one main plant in the middle of it. So I think next time when I plant a perennial basil, I'll plant it in more like an area like around my food forest or in the front garden where I can just let it go crazy and it can spread out and produce as many flowers for the birds and the bees. But in an area where you're doing kind of like greens and herbs, I'd probably suggest steering clear of a larger perennial basil. I think this one here is an African blue basil. It's got really pretty purple flowers that the bees have been loving, and the leaves have like a purple tinge to the back of them. It smells absolutely divine, but again, I'm just not the biggest fan of the taste of it. I much prefer the sweeter basil for adding to pastas and things like that. So the rain has kind of stopped. It's still drizzling a little bit, but I'm going to go chuck this all on the compost. That's another thing, I've been trying to find biomass everywhere, so each day I'm aiming to put something on the compost bin just to build it a little bit more quicker and actually think about building the compost, because I have such a big area and I can never have enough compost pretty much. And I also need to get onto transplanting some random papaya trees that sprouted up using homemade compost. So that's another benefit of using compost. You get free plants. So I'm going to go do that now. Alright, so the pawpaws are in. I had to replace some of them because I actually had some pawpaws there that were growing before. But when we had really heavy flooding and rains, all of that area just got flooded and the roots just ended up rotting. So I have replaced those ones. I've also replaced all of the corn in here with little zucchinis. So I've got golden zucchini growing in here, just because it was our favourite one and I really want to get another harvest of that before winter comes. The garden is looking wild, is one way to describe it. So this weekend I am going to be clearing out a lot of it, just cleaning it up, tidying it up, making the paths a little bit more clearer, because yesterday I had a little bit of a run-in with snake. It was just a tree snake, but it was just kind of a little bit close to my face when I was trying to pick cucumbers. And funny enough, I actually took a photo in the area that it was the day before I saw it. Didn't know it was there when I took the photo, and then when I went back to look at the photo I saw it there, and made me feel a little bit ill that I was that close to the snake. Got nothing against tree snakes, but snakes in general just scare me a little bit. It was a very pretty snake though, and on Instagram I pretty much share all of that stuff, so if you want to know like daily updates of what I'm getting up to, go follow me over on Instagram. The snake was just in this little area here around the cucumbers, so as you can see this area is quite overgrown, and I don't want to put my hand in that at the moment to pick cucumbers, because I can't see what I'm doing, so I definitely just need to clear up a lot of this area. So I am currently getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, so I'm going to head inside, but I hope you enjoyed this little video of just me getting some of the jobs done. I've been meaning to transplant those papayas for a while now. Before I go, I will show you some new trees that I planted. So I'll walk forward and then turn you around. So this is walking away from the food forest area. So I've planted 4 little tamarind trees here. So this will kind of be, again, we're not going to live here forever, so whoever lives here next will be able to enjoy these tamarinds, but this will provide like a little bit of a walkway to that back food forest area. So these are really gorgeous trees and produce really nice little tamarind pods that you can use for Asian cooking and stir fries. And all I did for this was just lay a cardboard down and then grass clippings over the top. So I've got some of those, and I also planted my black sapote tree here. So this is the chocolate fruit tree, and I also planted one of my favorite trees in Australia, the silky oak here. It is just such a gorgeous plant. If you can grow silky oak, I would highly recommend. It does grow to be a pretty large tree. It's a grevillea species, and the flowers on it are just spectacular, and the foliage is also just really pretty. It's just a nice little fern foliage. So those are some of the updates and some of the plants that I've planted. I am loving all of this green at the moment. It is so beautiful. I hope wherever you are in the world that you are getting good weather. I'm really excited to watch people's gardens over in the Northern Hemisphere with spring coming along, and I'm also excited to start my winter seedlings and my winter garden here. Thank you all so much for watching, and until my next video, happy gardening. Bye.